Oh, wow. What it is, people. Oh, my God. Welcome. It's like Thanksgiving Eve, I think. Yeah. Couple days. You guys going to have turkey or watch football or whatever? Do you do that? Do you participate with the masses? That's how they brainwash us, through the football and the entertainment. Are you enjoying being brainwashed? Do you sign up for those things? What it is, Tiffany? What it is? Aloha de last musubi. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to the show where we document the end of the world. Well, we might be one day closer to death. We'll see. See how things develop. So it really could be the end. So we always have to keep that in mind. I mean, it could be at any time, but now especially. Because Russia's got special weapons that we can't do anything about if they decided to. But whatever, nuclear bombs. We decided it was like 50-50. I don't know if people who don't think nukes exist are coping or if they're right. I've seen a lot of things about nukes, tests being faked, etc. It's your choice. You get to choose what to believe, whether you're near a missile target, like a military base. I'm near a Space Force base, so I know that we're going to be nuked. I hope. Be really interesting. So, a lot of news to cover in a nuclear war, if you live. And we're going to have internet now. Everybody worried about internet going down. That Starlink thing is, they say it can work on, I think you just put out a thing the other day. It can work on mobile phones without any special adapting equipment or anything, just the way they are. So you can get data from satellites. So everybody worried about buying Bitcoin because the internet might go down. I don't think the internet might not be able to go down anymore with the satellites out there in space, where I assume they'll keep power. So Elon Musk, robots, satellites, global domination, 360 billion or whatever it is today. Bricky from Sunnyvale says, I believe Nathan is using NLP on his audience through his vocal tones. Thank you very much. What is that? Natural language. What does that stand for again? I used to remember I'd accuse people of using NLP. What if I just naturally talk this way? Don't have to work on it. Subsyntho Labo says midnight in the UK. Perfect. Yeah. 4 p.m. Yeah, it is like, so it's kind of like midnight in the desert for Europeans. Yeah, I remember I did a show for a while at midnight or 9 p.m. my time because I'm on the West Coast. It was late. 3 hours. Oh my God, it was crazy. Neuro-linguistic programming. Thank you. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. Tell you who's not good at NLP is Kamala Harris. So she came out of hiding today for the first time and went on some conference call, and I can play you some of it. If you enjoy Kamala Harris word salads, I can play you some of it. It's kind of long, so I tried to pick out a part of it that would be interesting. You'd think she would be prepared or something. So I have that clip for you guys. I have we're going through a changing time right now, for sure, like a realignment time. Maybe if that happens a lot, but it's a social media thing. And people not watching TV anymore. Like they say kids don't watch TV. I guess makes sense. I don't know. Still, it is weird to me that people don't watch TV, but they listen to 3-hour podcasts. So you'd want to think that people have low attention span because they're just like looking at stuff on TikTok or whatever that's short, and they get their news in short clips. They don't watch the whole shows or anything. They don't watch TV shows. But then they're able to tune in for these 3-hour podcasts, apparently. Although the things that get the most play from these podcasts are just snippets. Seems like that's the thing to do. You have a podcast, then a snippet goes out, goes viral. So lots of that happens here. All right, so we have, we'll check in on cryptocurrency, which is down since last we spoke. Gosh, just since like over the, when we left each other on Friday, Bitcoin was 98,000 or something. Now it's down to like 92,000. But I'm not worried. Hopefully you aren't either. Hopefully you're looking at it as a chance to get some. So been thinking about, and crazy things have been happening in cryptocurrency too. I have that to show to you. There's this website that was allowing live streaming for people to create coins and then pump them through live streams. People started doing crazy things, as you might expect from an unregulated site, like threatening goldfish with a gun. So that all happened on this website called pump.fun, Pump Fun, where you can create, I think, Solana meme coins. I've played you some videos from it already of people celebrating. All right, now we can get started. Thanks for joining me for the show, everybody. I appreciate you. Sorry I missed the show yesterday, but we're back today. So enjoy. Okay, cue musical intro. Boy, that's brilliant. I do think some things in the world are real. Like you guys. You guys are real. Most of you. Most of my listeners, I think, are not just in my head. I think I have the metrics to prove it. You've taken a leap of faith today. What is that sound? And I apologize if you take offense. I'm a little offended myself. Welcome to our show. Welcome to the future. What it is, joining you live from sunny California. It's a beautiful day today. I'm your host, Nathan Stoltman. And I bring you the news, the real news. Yeah, that's right. People say they're better informed when I do a show. That's what some people say. I've seen it in the chat. Believe it or not. All right, I'm going to show you. I'm going to start out with the Kamala Harris coming out from the dead because that just happened. Then I'll show you some other stuff. People freaking out over the realignment of everything. Okay, so let me show you a little Kamala. This is her coming out of retirement to explain what went wrong. Or Jaffer 9 says, can we have the goal early? Sure, I will set the goal during this clip. Okay, we're going to play a little Kamala. See what you think. This is her.
Care and will bring us together. And you know, sometimes in the darkest moments, people lose faith in that. Are there people out there that feel that way? And you reminded people that yes, there are. And there are a lot of us. And that strength cannot be taken from us. That is our strength. It cannot be taken from us. So listen, as I said the day after the election, I still strongly believe the light of America's promise will burn bright as long as we never give up and we keep fighting. And the fight that fueled our campaign, a fight for freedom and opportunity, that did not end on November 5th. A fight for the dignity of all people, that did not end on November 5th. A fight for the future, a future in which all people receive the promise of America? No. A fight that is about a fight for the ideals of our nation, the ideals that reflect the promise of America, that fight's not over. So look, we still have a lot to fight for, okay? A future where every American can pursue their dreams, ambitions, and aspirations, where the women of America have the right to make decisions about their own body, not their government telling them what to do. Our fight for the rule of law, for freedom for all, for equal justice.
Yeah, she has bad lighting too. So she doesn't look good. She got like her neck's all wrinkly. She's the new generation. That's what I always thought was funny. They're like, we need a new generation of leadership. That's still 60. I mean, it's okay. It's not old or anything, but yeah, she has bad lighting, so she doesn't look perfect. I'm putting up your comments. No, you can listen more. You can.
For the sacred principle that everyone, no matter where they start out,
So many
has
platitudes.
certain fundamental rights and freedoms that must be upheld. That's not over. That fight's still in us, and it burns strong.
I think she might be
And I
wrong.
know
That's what
this
people
is
are
an
saying.
uncertain
Some people.
time. I'm clear-eyed about that. I know you're clear-eyed about it. And it feels heavy.
Mm-hmm.
And I just have to remind you, don't you ever let anybody take your power from you.
Okay.
You have the same power that you did before November 5th. And you have the same purpose that you did. And you have the same ability to engage and inspire. So don't ever let anybody or any circumstance take your power from you.
All right. There
Look,
you go. You guys got it. There she is. People are saying she's drunk, so OG Ghost Blinky says she's my president. Well, good. You get the president you deserve. That's what they say. No, that's what they say about Bitcoin. But I can translate it to other things. You get the president you deserve. This time we got Trump. The man of the hour. He's got to be man of the century for sure. I mean, he's transforming things, which is amazing. People are feeling better this time around, I think, than the first time even. They're ready for change. People are ready for change. So realignment, etc. Okay, this is the part of the statement that was put out by the Democrats. Let me just see what it was, where some people are saying she was drunk and stuff. This is the 30 seconds the Democrats put out. They put this out. Vice President's message to supporters. Let's see what it is.
I just have to remind you, don't you ever let anybody take your power from you.
That's what I played.
You have the same power that you did before November 5th. And you have the same purpose that you did. And you have the same ability to engage and inspire. So don't ever let anybody or any circumstance take your power from you.
There you go. That's the clip. That's the clip the Democrats put out. Pretty crazy. She does seem kind of drunk, huh? I wouldn't be surprised. Or Xanax. Sometimes I thought it was Xanax, especially when she started talking to the kids at that space camp. The stars. Oh my God. I got to show you this Joanne Reed TikTok. Just because, like, on MSNBC, they don't get any ratings. Nobody watches. Like, there are lots of influencers now that have bigger audiences than MSNBC does of people who actually watch the show. I think it's like 50,000 or something. I heard it was 50,000 people in the target demographic. So they're trying to figure out how to be relevant again. So they're trying out TikTok and stuff. So Joy Reid put this on TikTok. They say Democrats don't know how to use social media.
We're beautiful.
That's her TikTok thing. Thanks, Joffrey, for participating in the challenge. We are doing a challenge. It's an hour long today. It's $5 super chats. Super stickers are appreciated, but they don't count toward the goal. If we reach the goal, I will praise you, but I will withhold my praise till later. Until we reach the goal, I can't praise you. So I can just say, that's all right. Thanks, Joffrey. No. Yeah, it's not time for praise yet. All right. So I wrote this thing. I said the mainstream media is melting down. They're concerned that they're being replaced, basically, which they have been for some time. I mean, there were people whose basically mission in life was to go after influencers or people on the internet, people with YouTube channels and stuff who are competing against the mainstream media. And they accuse them of spreading disinformation or being paid by the Russians. So now Elon said that Twitter or X, we are the media, something like that. We are the media. Briggy from Sunnyvale, do you buy me a coffee count? Well, not on you. It doesn't count like on YouTube, but I'll count it. Thanks. That's cool. You can contribute. Buymeacoffee.com/lifttheveil. Yeah. And don't give YouTube the cash. I appreciate that. Some people are very sensible. I don't want to support YouTube, but we are on YouTube nowadays. So, but yeah, you can go to buymeacoffee.com/lifttheveil. That's this thing there. All right. This is this guy from Axios, I think. Journalist. Pretty sure he's from Axios.
Matters. Everything we do is under fire. Elon Musk sits on Twitter every day, or X today, saying like, we are the media. You are the media. My message to Elon Musk is bullshit. You're not the media. You having a blue check mark, a Twitter handle, and 300 words of cleverness doesn't make you a reporter any more than me looking at your head and seeing that you have a brain and telling you I have an awesome set of tools makes me a damn neurosurgeon, right? Like what we do, what journalists do, what you did in Mississippi, what Al Jazeera does in the Middle East. You don't proclaim yourself to be a reporter. Like that's nonsense. Like being a reporter is hard, really hard. You have to care. You have to do the hard work. You have to get up every single day and say, I want to get to the closest approximation of the truth without any fear, without any favoritism. You don't do that by popping off on Twitter. You don't do that by having an opinion. You do it by doing the hard work.
Yeah, come on, slow clap, everybody.
Listen to that, these guys.
First of all, I've got to
these guys
say,
are like, oh, that's so nice. Nobody watches our show, but at least this guy appreciates us. Oh my God, I can't believe they were all clapping. I declared myself a journalist. I went to things like, and then I got attacked by Antifa. I was like, I'm just a journalist. I declared myself one. You can in America, freedom of the press. Anybody can be the press. And anybody can share clips of you guys and make fun of you. Which is what people did. How does it feel? These guys are becoming irrelevant. It is crazy. They have to like think to themselves like, oh, we're slowly becoming irrelevant. So finally, it is the takeover of the new generation, I guess. In as much as it's as younger people are more adept with the new tools that we have. Old people who don't adapt, you die.
extraordinary content. It needed to be said.
Yeah.
It continues to need to be said. When all of the garbage is flying around on social media, lying about reporters, lying about the hard work they do, lying about the hard work editors do, lying about everything up and down about not only their alternative set of facts, but alternative set of facts about what people like you do.
There you go. Brutal. Must be hard, though. I feel bad for him still. I used to watch that MSNBC channel. I used to really watch it. Watch Morning Joe and stuff. But it's true. Now I don't have a TV subscription, so I don't have any way to watch MSNBC. You can watch CNN on they're experimenting with doing news with streaming services. So like on Max, HBO Max, or it's just called Max now. They have a partnership with CNN where you can watch some CNN. And CNN is better because they have one conservative who people like. Here, this is a clip about that. But don't know, man. Like people aren't watching Democrats. They don't want to hear it anymore. They're bowing out. Okay, here we go. I play this clip.
Also, I heard what you're saying about X. I saw a survey this week. It's now the most ideologically balanced user platform.
Scott,
of any platform.
stop. It's too early. I just
I know.
sat down. I've
You're
only
gonna-
been here for 2
You're going to
minutes.
be
You
embarrassed
cannot
when I tweet
continue
out
to
after
say.
the show, but
You
it's true.
cannot say that.
So-
No, that's not the case.
So
Who's
what
the
I-
source?
What I find, we reported it on this network. And
It's
so-
not accurate, and you know it.
Okay, I'll let you make your statement.
Scott, can I
but my
think of
point
it,
is
can I
this.
reframe it a different way? Because the site changed radically, right? So whether you think the voices it is somehow more balanced now, that's fine. But no doubt Musk's influence is profound, and that you open it up and now you're there with his opinion, and he is now part of this administration. So does anyone else think that there should be this greater concern about billionaires purchasing media companies?
Okay. Would you be worried if Bill Gates controlled MSNBC?
Now that's funny.
No, because
Because-
he's sane.
Because
Oh,
MS
see,
also-
now that's
I heard what you're
Wow.
saying about X.
wow. Did you hear the last part? About billionaires controlling media companies. That's what, it's like since the beginning of time, rich people buy media companies because sometimes media companies don't make any money and they cost a lot of money to run. And so billionaires with an agenda buy papers and pay for the reporters and shit, even when the paper's not making money, so they can build a narrative that they're comfortable with. Like Hearst. I mean, it's not like it's not new. It's funny because Bezos, of course, owns the Post, and it's pretty liberal, but he's trying to change it too. Traditional media, but yeah, I mean, that also means Washington Post, New York Times, people that do reporting, like there's no money in it anymore if people aren't subscribing and stuff, because they get everything for free on X, or they can just ask the AI for the, a summary of the news of the day. So I haven't worked with the AI lately or any of it, but you can do searches with that too, and it'll tell you news. All right. So that was, he's right though. They reported on it because it went from being, Twitter X went from being a liberal leaning platform with like 65% or something liberal users to almost evenly split, like 48-47. I think still more liberals, or it's the other way by 1 point, but they're basically even. And that's what this guy's saying. He's like, we reported on it. They're like, how did you get that information? Everybody's allowed to have an account on X. All right, here's more worrying about Elon Musk buying MSNBC by Brian Stelter on CNN. Let's see.
This ends the argument about how important these social media platforms are. Over the weekend, for example, Musk is joking, I think, about maybe trying to buy MSNBC. It seems he's just trying to troll. Comcast is not making MSNBC up for sale right now. Maybe something will change in a few years. But those tweets, those posts from Musk, those memes that he's posting, it just speaks to his power and his center of power throughout this incoming administration.
But elaborate on that potential joke. He used some of the same phrasing that he used a few years ago when he ended up actually buying Twitter, when he said, "How much is it?" just fairly casually.
Yes.
I mean, it would seem that, yes, there is a fair amount of trolling going on right now, but at the same time, Comcast is cleaving off a part of the business that could potentially be an affordable acquisition. Do you think that there's any possibility that it's more than a joke?
Well, some inside MSNBC are taking Musk's comments seriously, whether he's trolling or not. There is a serious undercurrent to this, and it is the following. In some countries where we've seen democratic backsliding, where some oppositional media outlets have been captured by the government, a process known as media capture, this is exactly what happens. An ally of the leader, like Musk, comes in and buys a media outlet that is viewed as oppositional, and then he turns the content and makes it more friendly to the person in power. That has happened before in other countries. That's part of the concern when, even if Elon Musk is just joking, that's part of the concern here when it comes to MSNBC. But at the moment, this spinoff that Comcast is doing will take at least a year to complete. There's no immediate sale or any of that, I'm told, that is planned. But the idea that Musk talks about it, he likes to say the most ironic outcome is the most likely. And in this case, it would be pretty ironic if he controlled MSNBC.
Yeah, we still have more than a year of tea leaf reading to do. Brian, we appreciate you helping us do it.
I was muted for a second. It's probably going to be less than $1 billion. I mean, it might be less than $1 billion company. Like, they're getting kicked off cable. Cable's trying to negotiate with them that, like, people have to pay if they want MSNBC, and then people are going to choose not to. Right now, they're getting paid as being bundled with other stuff. So they could be done. MSNBC could be done. And then is it worth buying them when you have X? And like, if he's saying we are the media now, what do you need a TV station for? I think it democratizes the news. I mean, for sure. And anybody can be a reporter. Anybody can be. And they did break news on X. The Twitter files, the Matt Taibbi stuff, the Twitter files, that was huge news. That was broken on X. People go there for news, even if it's a link to a news article. Okay. I have some lady talking about being a sex slave and spy for David Rockefeller, but I don't find her that compelling. I have Mike Tyson talking about hunting humans and how that's real. I'll show you that. That'll show you some like crypto hijinks.
Whatever you think a human did to another human being, it happened.
Yes.
Anything, I don't know, fucked, ate, or whatever it is, it happened.
Somewhere in history it definitely happened.
Yes.
It probably happened somewhere this year.
Yes. And sometimes in these special camps and stuff, it happens. These people own these thousands of acres and nothing grows on them, and just just keep it there.
Weird ranches where people meet and do rituals.
Might want to hunt a motherfucker, let him go.
That's not outside the realm of possibility.
I know, that's why I'm throwing it at you.
I guarantee you there's been someone somewhere in the world who paid someone to hunt a person. I guarantee you that's happened.
No, this is what happened. They take these homeless people off the streets, put them in there, take them to one of these special hospitals. They take them from that hospital, may have them drugged up, take them on these large estates of property. Let's hunt. Run.
Christ.
Nigga, run. No, really, I really believe that.
I think, well, that book, The Most Dangerous Game, didn't that come out in like the 30s? It's an old book about that very thing. Rich people hunting poor people.
The only reason we hunt the fox. Why is the only reason we hunt fox?
I think there's the fur.
The fox is the only one that backtracks.
Oh, because it's sneaky.
He's the only one that backtracks. Like if he chases, he'll go forward and then he'll come backwards and go this way
to trick you.
Yeah, that's
why
that's the only really challenging That's the only challenge and chase. Everything else is too easy. It's too simple-minded. The fox is the only one that's challenging.
Oh, that's interesting.
And
That
so-
makes sense. I never thought about it that way.
And so now they say, well, the fox is the most reasonable animal. Let's try a human animal, see how reasonable he is.
Guaranteed.
Yeah.
Guaranteed someone's done that.
That's
if you
what
think of all
they
the
want to
harass-
they want to challenge reasonability.
Yes.
Let's see how he thinks. How
Right.
does he think? How is he superior than us? Why are we superior? They're not going to do anything they think that's inferior than them.
Yeah.
They're gonna study what they're gonna attack or what they're gonna make their victim.
Wow. Brian M. going all in on the Lift the Veil show. I have to give you good returns now for this investment. $49.99 super chat. They'll feed a family in Africa for a month for sure. And I can get coffee for a week or so. Hi, Nate. The left army has been on the march before and after World War II. White supremacy is a witch hunting dog whistle, like a British hunter blowing the trumpet to rouse the dogs of hunt war to ferret out the fox. We are the fox, he says. Thanks, Brian. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Thanks for your faith in the Lift the Veil show. All right, I'm going to show you guys after that huge investment. I hope Brian M is also buying Bitcoin with his money. All right, let me show you an influencer reporting on the pump fund stuff. So I won't show you the videos. Like kids lock themselves in a cage. So like this is what was going on. People can create a coin on this site called Pump Fund. Like it made it really easy to make cryptocurrency. You don't have to be a genius. You just plug in some things, put a JPEG up, create a coin, and then people would live stream and do things like start doing kind of crazy things. One guy made something called shitcoin, and he's sitting on a toilet until the coin hits $50 million market cap, which I don't know if it ever will. And then someone locked themselves in a dog cage because then they can't sell. That's the whole reason for it. Because everybody just pumps their coin until they sell it, and they rug pull everybody. That happens on every coin. So it's just a question of when they rug pull. So these people would be like, okay, well, yeah, I can't rug pull because I'm sitting on the toilet or I'm in a dog cage. One guy claimed to have no hands, so he couldn't rug pull because he couldn't operate a keyboard. But then he did. It turned out he had hands and he rug pulled everybody. All right, so this is some reporting on it. Just to let you guys know what's going on in crypto. Crypto has been kind of crazy. People can make a lot of money very quickly within hours, but then they lose it all. Here, I'll show you this.
Guys, they cut somebody's head off on Pump Fund today. They've kidnapped dogs, cats, children. Somebody's holding a gun to a goldfish. Someone's holding a gun to a dog. If the price didn't go up, he was going to execute it. They ended the live stream. I think they shut it down. They caught it. And right now, today, somebody is on a 24-hour live stream of crime. He's going around. He's jacking cars. He's jacking scooters. He's broke into a bank, and he's doing that. He's live streaming the whole thing now, and he's trying to say that he's doing it until he gets arrested. That's the coin of the day, a 24-hour crime spree live stream. I mean, guys, this is wrong. This is getting out of control. This is beyond what we dreamed of. This isn't mass adoption. This isn't crypto. I didn't envision this shit. When we need to stop it. I'm sending a direct message to the FBI, and I'm asking them to please pause this. At least just pause it so we get some moderation, because someone's going to get hurt. There was a 12-year-old kid holding a shotgun with his family in the next room saying he was going to execute them if the price didn't go up. Did you hear what I just said? This is real. This is happening. This is going on today. So don't tell me it's all right. No, it's not. And people that are buying these things, you're complicit.
I mean, it's bad, but I appreciate their creativity. Trying to get locked in jail is a good one, because then you definitely can't sell. So So you can't rug pull from jail. So that was kind of a genius idea. He's like, okay, well, I'll start committing crimes until they put me in jail. That's crazy. That's really insane. But not kind of genius. Like probably the coin pumped. It might have pumped to, 11,000 market cap. Who knows? Still make a couple $1,000s. Yeah, one of them did well. Something called like Chill something or other. I don't know, man. Just buy Bitcoin. Don't worry about that stuff. Try not to get involved. Look at this. What this guy did. Looks real. Check this guy out. I know somebody who lost, I think, $350,000, pretty much all their savings, the last time crypto crashed, because I think they bought that. What was it called? I can't remember. It was so traumatic at the time for people. Lost it all. So this guy here, check this out. See if you think this is real.
Completely fucking lost it, mate. I tell you what, I said if I ever get liquidated, I'm just gonna burn the fucking house down. And guess what? Tonight's the night, boys. Tonight's the fucking night. Yeah, that's it. When you're losing 350k, what more can you do? Yeah, what more can you do? Right? What more can you do? Fuck this. Honestly, this house is gone. This house is fucking gone. We'll just start here. That's it. See how we go.
He poured it on himself too.
Oh, this shit fucking work or not? Oh, fuck. That's it, boys. We're going to get this party started. Oh, start with the couches. Fuck it, I've lost so much fucking money. Fuck it. Completely fucking lost.
I don't know. Poor fish. He's got a fish tank. Poor fish. So that's what's going on in crypto. Bitcoin's at 92,000. Don't be that guy. All right, I have some vaccine stuff. I just wonder. I mean, it looks like real studies. I got in trouble for putting out real studies before, but I'll say vaccines are safe and effective. Ask your doctor, whatever. Here are some videos of people starting to talk. I think the RFK thing is pretty, if nothing else, about Trump. The RFK thing is definitely super consequential. And I think Democrats are going to vote for him. Even. Some of them, I think. That's my prediction. Like, people do think it's weird that we get all the shots. And they do think it's weird that everybody's sick. So here's an ex. Oh, this is Katie Hopkins. She's a reporter. Here, let me play this.
I have a couple of questions for my old employers, boys at The Sun, Mail Online, Fox News, BBC, LBC. On excess deaths, where are you? And who is paying for your silence? It's in the Lancet in black and white. Mail Online, Martin, these are the headlines that we used to eat up for breakfast. It's screaming out. Excess deaths in England alone are higher than at any time in 5 years, and then way back in history. Just print the graph. It screams out that people are dying off inexplicably. First 6 months of 2023, 28,000 excess deaths, more deaths than would be expected, particularly in young and middle-aged males. And the main cause of death, written here in the Lancet in black and white, don't take my word for it, is heart conditions. 47% unexplained, inexplicable heart conditions. And you know, in the 50 to 64 age group, just in a 13-month period, after COVID, after the pandemic, heart diseases 44% higher. 44% higher, and still you're not talking about it. And these people are dying in their homes because they didn't know they were ill or sick, and they didn't know something malevolent in their system was going to kill them.
There you go. So people are dying, apparently, higher numbers. Don't know. Oh, should I poll the chat? I wonder if people in the chat got vaxxed. I wonder if people in the chat did because you had to go to work and stuff. I know some people did. It's not like everybody could afford to be unvaxxed. We stayed away from it in this household and are healthy and have had COVID a couple times, but Nick A says emphatically no vax. All right. And then this is going to be the next FDA. We know about RFK Jr., Bobby, who's going to do HHS, but this guy, Marty Makary, is going to be the new FDA commissioner. So this is what he said previously.
The greatest perpetrator of misinformation during the pandemic has been the United States government. Misinformation that COVID was spread through surface transmission, that vaccinated immunity was far greater than natural immunity, that masks were effective. Now we have the definitive Cochrane review. What do you do with that review? Cochrane is the most authoritative evidence body in all of medicine and has been for decades. Do you just ignore it, not talk about it? That myocarditis was more common after the infection than the vaccine. Not true. It's 4 to 28 times more common after the vaccine. That young people benefit from a booster. Misinformation. Our two top experts on vaccines quit the FDA in protest over this particular issue, pushing boosters in young, healthy people. The data was never there. That's why the CDC never disclosed hospitalization rates among boosted Americans under age 50. The vaccine mandates would increase vaccination rates. The George Mason University study shows it didn't. It did one thing. It created never vaxxers who are now not getting the childhood vaccines they need to get. Over and over again, we've seen something that goes far beyond using your best judgment with the information at hand. We've seen something which is unforgivable, and that is the weaponization of medical research itself. The CDC putting out their own shoddy studies, like their own study on natural immunity, looking at one state for 2 months, when they had data for years on all 50 states. Why did they only report that one sliver of data? Why did they salami slice the giant database? Because it gave them the result they wanted. Same with masking study. Well, the data has now caught up in giant systematic reviews, and the public health officials were intellectually dishonest. They lied to the American people. Thank you.
There you go. So that's the new FDA commissioner. So January 20th, we're 2 months away still from Trump even being president. He's been threatening countries with tariffs. So he's been getting busy. People like that about him, threatening countries. He's threatening Canada, China with tariffs until they get rid of the China, until they stop shipping fentanyl. He wants to hit them with 10%. Anyway, then he's pointing guys like this to the FDA. So, all right, I'll show you one more study about unvaccinated Americans. See if this is going to get me kicked off YouTube. I don't know. I don't want to get a strike for medical misinformation. This one is interesting. Doesn't make any claims about any specific vaccines. Yeah, but I don't want to get a strike. Anyway, what it shows is some kind of control group where they found people who are completely unvaccinated. And in that study, it says that those people are healthy. That's all. Just shows that those people are healthy. So, but I'm not going to show it to you. And ask your doctor, and the government says that they're all safe and effective, pretty much, because they're in business with the companies. Yeah. Get yourself some stuff for Christmas. from our store where everything's on sale. Like you're looking to get Christmas gifts now, right? So check out our sale. It's better than Black Friday. I've been running the website at the bottom of the screen, truthclothing.io. It looks like this. This is the sale page. We have shirts for incredibly low prices. I would like to recommend our Bitcoin shirt or crypto future shirt. You can get it on the ground floor on those. $5 each. So you can get gifts for people. Or the propaganda stuff. I mean, we're selling out of a lot of sizes too. So you want to get in while you still can and buy in bulk. It's best to. But there are still a few cool shirts for sale. Check them out. I'm wearing my Bitcoin Saves sweatshirt today. Very comfortable, very nice sweatshirt. $15 for the sweatshirt. $10 for the shirt. Check it out. Truthclothing.io. Make sure to shop there for your holiday gifts. Okay, I'll show you a clip of our Surgeon General, our incoming Surgeon General, apparently, who would not support mandate school lockdowns.
Dr. Neshwa, I'll start with you. What do you think about this? At this point, is there any reason to have mandates?
Absolutely not, Carly. I think it's illogical to mandate something that's ineffective. You know, what they're asking.
That's weird. The screen froze, but it was playing on my browser. And now it's spinning. There it goes. Okay, now it's caught up.
These young, healthy college students who are low risk to mask up and to live like a hermit, to social distance and to avoid, large gatherings and parties. But I can tell you firsthand, having taken care of thousands of COVID patients, these little flimsy surgical masks, they're ineffective. Now, if you choose to wear a mask and if you're in a high risk group, that's one thing. And you probably want to wear an N95 mask. But to mandate masks, to mandate vaccines at this point, I think is the wrong move. To shut down schools, to have remote learning absolutely breaks my heart. I can tell you my last shift, I saw about 55 patients, had about 8 or 9 who tested positive for COVID. All of them, their symptoms were mild, sniffles, cough, sore throat, that sort of thing. But they did very well. And it's important to remember, Carly, we now have the tools to treat COVID. Yeah. It's not like where we were 3 years ago.
Yeah, it's a great.
So that's an old interview of her, Jeanette Nashiwat, looks like. So we're introducing you to the new cabinet. Very interesting picks. So we showed you that. I can show you Sharon Stone. She's insane. And then she's also an actress. So I don't know what authority she speaks with. And not even that good. But I have a weird clip of Sharon Stone. And then she goes off on men, too. It's very strange. You want to listen to it? I'll play it for you.
Italy has seen fascism. Italy has seen these things. You guys, you understand what happens. You have seen this before. My country is in its adolescence. Adolescence is very arrogant. Adolescence thinks it knows everything. Adolescence is naive and ignorant and arrogant. And we are in our ignorant, arrogant adolescence. We haven't seen this before in our country. So Americans who don't travel, who 80% don't have a passport, who are uneducated, are in their extraordinary naivete. What I can say is that the only way that we can help with these issues is to help each other. Now, we can't just say that women should help women because that's the only way we have survived so far. We must say that good men must help good men, and those good men must be very aware that a lot of your friends are not good men.
What's that?
And you can't continue to pretend that your friends are good men when they are not good men.
Is that because they voted
must-
for Trump or what? Like, is she insane? Like, it's not normal to think that a lot of men are bad men. It's like thinking the worst of people. They'll ask you that on like personality assessments. Do you think people are generally good or generally out to get you? It's kind of, if you think people are generally out to get you, that's like you're probably depressed or something, or there's something wrong with you. She's like, there are a lot of bad men. How many bad men? Or maybe it's like being in Hollywood distorts your view of that, because there are way more bad men in Hollywood who want to take advantage of people in general. Because Hollywood is literally about buying and selling people. But she's crazy, huh? And then, like, who is she? Like, who is she? She's like, we're ignorant. We're stupid.
Must be very clear-minded and understand that your friends who are not good men are dangerous, violent men, and you have to keep them away from your daughters, your wives, and your girlfriends. Because this is a time when we can no longer look away when bad men are bad.
What is she talking about? I guess she's talking about Trump somehow. All right. I have some news. Walmart canceled their DEI policy. So this guy, Robbie Starbuck, he says he's going to investigate all these companies that have DEI policies. And then when he investigates them, he says he's going to write an article about them. They're like, oh, we're not going to do that anymore. Basically, it seems like it's happened every time. So I can play you a little bit of his celebration speech on that. So Walmart discontinuing DEI. There's some new university in Austin, I think, that supposedly is like anti-DEI and doesn't discriminate against people. Thanks, Brian. Wow, it's like more. Thanks, Brian. So she's casting a spell on her hunting dogs. And I was wondering, you put up the fox comment before Tyson said anything about foxes or hunting. You were like, we are the fox. So that was a weird thing, actually. It was like right as on my screen, Mike Tyson was saying, foxes are special. That's why people like to hunt humans. You were saying we are the fox. Very interesting. Thanks for the super chat, Brian M. All right. This is Robbie Starbuck celebrating about this Walmart news. So you're caught up on that.
All right, y'all. I don't even know how to start this video because honestly, this is different than everything else we've done because this is the single largest employer in the United States. We are talking about a company that is worth almost $1 trillion on its own. As many of you know, I have been investigating a massive company now for a while, and I have kept my lips sealed on who it was. Now I can reveal it was Walmart, but something incredible happened in the course of my investigation. Walmart became aware of our investigation and reached out to me. This was critical and honestly turned out pretty fantastic for everybody involved, in my opinion. We were able to have frank conversations with Walmart. And as I've said for a long time, I don't ask companies to take on my political views. I am simply advocating for corporate neutrality. I believe that that is the future because I understand there are people in this country who do not agree with my politics. So it would not be fair of me to force my politics on them the same way that I am not okay with left-wing policies being forced on me and people like me via things like DEI. After various conversations, I am very proud to report to you guys that Walmart has decided on making some changes. I'm going to lay out what those changes are for you and explain how massive this is for our movement. We are unstoppable at this point with a 100% flip rate where we change corporate America and get them back to a culture of sanity and neutrality. Bullet point number 1, Walmart will be removing all inappropriate sexual and or transgender products that are marketed toward kids, things like chest binders for teenagers or books that encourage transitioning. That is all going to be gone. Bullet point number 2, Walmart is going to review and stop funding to all events that could be sexually inappropriate for kids. That includes drag queen story time or pride events that expose kids to sexually inappropriate topics. That's all going to stop going forward. Third bullet point, Walmart will be closing their racial equity center. This is a center they had committed $100 million to, and it was a 5-year project. They will be closing that center going forward. Fourth bullet point, Walmart will no longer participate in the HRC's Corporate Equality Index social credit system. This scoring system is what has brought wokeness into so many segments of corporate America, and we are happy to see them no longer participating. There is not a corporation in America that should be participating with the HRC's CEI scoring system going forward. The HRC got explicitly political in the 2024 election, working with everything they have to defeat Donald Trump and calling him every name in the book. It is time for companies to recognize that they need to move away from this system that is explicitly political and embrace corporate neutrality so that everybody is welcome in their stores. Fifth bullet point, Walmart is going to be reviewing their supplier diversity programs to ensure that nobody's receiving preferential treatment on the basis of race. And they will also ensure that financing eligibility will no longer be predicated on providing certain demographic information. Sixth bullet point, and this is a favorite for me, being Latino myself, Walmart will no longer be using the term Latinx in any of their official communications. That is going to be wiped away. I was very disappointed to see it was there. But again, this is across corporate America. So this is a company, Walmart, who is doing the right thing here. And I want to give them credit for that. Getting rid of this, big. We don't want to hear Latinx ever again. Bullet point number 7, Walmart will be discontinuing their racial equity training through the Racial Equity Institute. Again, getting rid of woke trainings. And last but not least, drumroll please for the big one, DEI. They will be discontinuing use of DEI both publicly and privately at Walmart. This is a massive win for our movement. The momentum just keeps growing. This is the largest employer in the United States, worth almost $1 trillion. Other companies are taking notice. Suppliers of Walmart are taking notice now. With Christmas right around the corner, I'm happy I could deliver you guys one retailer that will drop the woke policies. You've still got Amazon and Target acting crazy out there with wokeness. So I'm glad I could give you guys one at least. And yes, we do have our eyes on Amazon and Target. America just voted, and we voted against wokeness. We voted for sanity. We voted for corporate neutrality. We don't want companies funding divisive things. And Walmart is setting a great example here for other companies to turn around. It's not too late. Turn around. People are very forgiving, and we can get back to sanity together and rebuild and make this country the greatest it can possibly be. As this New York Times headline clearly illustrates, the paradigm has changed. Companies need to listen to our movement. We are powerful and growing every single day. We will not stop until we have eliminated wokeness in corporate America. If you love our work to remove wokeness from corporate America, follow me, share these videos, subscribe to my X page. It's $5 a month. It supports our research team. But please tell your friends about this, and let's keep this movement growing.
There you go. So a lot of people are saying that's good news, right? Yeah, it is good news. So I think a lot of consequential things happen, and I think a lot of it does have to do with the election. Like, I don't know what would have happened if Kamala won, if they would have felt like emboldened to do woke policies because she said be woke. Okay. Housekeeping. Dan Whiffen says, did Nate talk about Gaetz extortion? No, wasn't familiar with it. Searched it on Twitter, found a video. We'll play it. It's Candace Owens talking about it, I guess. Matt Gaetz extortion. So yeah, we'll cover it. And Brian M gave another $20 super chat. I'm going to sneeze. Hold on. I sneezed a couple times. Thanks, Brian. $20 super chat. That's crazy. He's talking about Sharon Stone. It says she is rationalizing our impending hunt. They offer the antidotes to society's sickness. We are their cancer. The left brings in fascism, total tyranny for the safety of the tribe, village, women, and children. PSYOP. Yeah, they have to exterminate us, right? People who think differently. All right. So Gaetz extortion, I'll play you guys that. I'll play you, well, what I found. I don't know what it is. I'll learn along with you about Gaetz extortion. Matt Gaetz extortion. You guys heard here he was on Cameo. He's doing Cameo. He was doing Cameo like a day or two after withdrawing for the nomination. Kind of crazy. He could probably get a job for somebody. One of Trump's rich friends should hire Matt Gaetz. Don't know why he felt like he had to do cameos. All right, here's something on the Gaetz extortion. Hopefully it catches us up on it.
And shockingly, Matt was indeed telling the truth about that correspondence. So let me tell you this part of the story because it's wild. So David McGee did indeed used to work at the DOJ about a decade earlier. So now he's working at a law firm, but he used to work for the DOJ, particularly within an organized crime task force. Okay. While he was working there, he worked with a guy named Bob Levinson. This is a very important, crucial character to this story. This is Bob Levinson. He is a retired FBI agent who then went off to do some contracted work for the CIA. Because I guess you can do that. You leave the FBI and you're like, hey, I'll be an agent for you. You pay me X amount of dollars and I'll get involved in some task that you guys have going on overseas. Okay. It was a sort of off the books covert operation that they were using him for in Iran. While working this covert operation, he was on Kish Island. That's an island off the coast of Iran. When he was kidnapped, Bob Levinson gets kidnapped. It was a very big deal when this happened. To be clear, this was back in 2007. And it was especially a big deal when it went down because he was kidnapped after this NBC reporter named Ira Silverman arranged a meeting for him. And President Bush acknowledged his kidnapping. At the time, it was President George Bush Jr. acknowledged his kidnapping and never mentioned that Bob Levinson was doing some contracted work for the CIA, of course, because it was covert work. Now, I want you to remember Bob Levinson, despite the fact that he's working contracted for the CIA, is in fact a retired FBI guy. So the FBI gets involved. They're invested. They're like, wait, that's our guy. And we want to get this guy back. We want to get Bob Levinson back. But they have to fund this operation to get him back from Iran. How are they going to do that? With favors. Okay. So they decide, okay, how are we going to raise? We need a lot of money to be able to run this operation. They hatch a plan and they figure out that this plan is going to cost $20 million. And who do we know that's rich enough? Who's got $20 million? Oh, we know this Russian billionaire. His name is Oleg Deripaska, who wants some green cards for his family. And we can fast track some green cards for his family if he gives us $20 million. And Deripaska says, yeah, I'm in. $20 million. You give me and my family green cards, done. And you're not going to believe, by the way, who the point man is of this FBI operation involving this Russian oligarch. The point man at the FBI on this operation is Andrew McCabe. Yes, the eventual FBI deputy director who publicly accused Trump of colluding with Russia. Okay. The guy who sat down on 60 Minutes and fostered the Trump-Russia collusion hoax that Trump was working.
I don't know if we're going to hear about how Matt Gaetz fits into this. This is supposedly part 4. I'll have to see if there's more. We'll do some research on it together, though. We're not going to worry about time and attention. Somehow Matt Gaetz, this is some kind of extortion.
As a Russian asset, kind of maybe he also forgot that at one time he himself worked as an agent to a Russian oligarch so that he could fund a mission to get his colleague Bob Levinson back. But listen, let me not get way ahead of myself. Let's get back. Let's not get distracted. Let's jump back into this incredible story. Okay, so the mission to rescue Bob is now fully funded. Okay, we've got these Russian rubles. We know.
Why did I only get one part of it? All right, I'll have to do more research. Let's see. Candace spills truth on Gaetz family extortion plan. It's another thing with Candace. Okay, we can listen to that.
Remember, the adults are back in charge, right? That this was getting all of the coverage. This Trump ally, he's out here, he's doing this with a 17-year-old girl, and he fought through this. And it sounded like a conspiracy, right? To say that the Department of Justice is using former employees and liaising to try to siphon $25 million from your dad. But Matt Gaetz alleged that the local FBI instructed his dad to wear a wire to record the conversation with the person that was trying to extort them. And guess what? It turned out that Matt Gaetz was telling the truth. In August of 2022, so a little over a year and a half later, Stephen Alford was sentenced to 5 years in prison for a scheme to extort $25 million from the Gaetz family. So you can just imagine the Department of Justice's surprise. Oh my gosh, you're going to nominate now? He's in charge of the Department of Justice? You're going to make him the U.S. Attorney General? I love it. I love it. Okay. He absolutely must be confirmed. And they're freaking out and they're being honest about why they're freaking out. They're like, well, then he's going to have access to the files of when we were investigating him. And like, by the way, we didn't find anything, so it's not a big deal, but we don't want to, this is an insane pick. Why on earth would they allow him in? Yeah. because you realize that he is someone who you are not going to be able to flip into one of your allies because you attempted to ruin his life and to ruin his reputation. And these are exactly the kinds of picks that we need. I need someone who has a chip on their shoulder.
There you go. That was before he pulled out. So there you go. I didn't know about that. Thank you. Who was it? Dan Whiffen. Did Nate talk about Gaetz extortion? Now people can answer you and say, yes, he did. All right, cool. I have like a transgender video. I'll play it for you since I got it lined up. Then we'll get ready. I still have a bottle of champagne for when Bitcoin hits 100K. So it seems like that has some time to chill. All right, here's like a CNN interview with some transgender kids and how it's going to be terrible that Trump is going to get rid of transgender kid care. It might be triggering.
We moved to Maryland to be able to access gender affirming care.
Blazing Scar says Matt Gaetz said that he recorded with the FBI and they know there are false allegations but won't release them. You mean from the girls? Really? Wow. Well, maybe that'll all come out. I mean, with Trump in there, can't he order the stuff to come out? With Trump's people in charge? That's all right. He's out of government for the moment. He'll have some kind of role with. He'll do something. He could do a podcast.
We moved to Maryland to be able to access gender affirming care for Katie. What that looks like is therapy services, it's clothing, it's haircuts, and at this age, it is a hormone blocker to prevent her from going through puberty.
This is my hormone blocker right here.
Could that treatment be reversed at some point?
Yes, absolutely. It's really a pause button. Katie gets more time to live in the body that she has now.
On day one, I will revoke Joe Biden's cruel policies on so-called gender-affirming care.
Trump has promised federal restrictions on transgender rights, including far stricter rules about gender-affirming care, especially for minors. One trans rights organization saw a nearly 700% increase in calls to their crisis hotline after the election.
What would happen if your daughter didn't get that care?
She would end up going through puberty, and it would be traumatizing
Grow out
to
of
her
thinking he's a
to
girl.
see all of those things happen to her body.
I know you get some treatment from doctors, from other care. What would happen if you didn't get that?
I would be upset and scared.
In the LGBTQ community, the suicide rate is high for those who are not being supported by their caregivers.
We want her to survive childhood.
So families like Katie's are trying to prepare for what's ahead, even drafting an asylum application.
We have to start thinking about a backup plan.
If push comes to shove, we will need to go north. We will go to Canada.
What would it take for your family to say, we need to leave this country?
A federal healthcare ban would likely be the moment we know that it's time to leave here.
What does this symbolize to you?
Freedom and rights. This proves that everybody has their own rights to be themselves.
There you go. So those are the kind of people who are going to leave the country. So we will miss them. All right, cool. Well, thanks, Brian M. Even though I didn't technically reach my goal because I didn't get the 5 over 5, you'd like, I might have buy me a coffee too. Thanks, Brian M, for being awesome today. With many super chats. And then let me check out Buy Me a Coffee. Somebody mentioned it. You can always go there, buymeacoffee.com/lifttheveil. And that leaves a permanent record of your super chat. And it doesn't take much money from you. And I get the money right away almost. Okay, nobody did that today, but you can. If you want to donate to the show or donate Bitcoin, you can use Cash App. Cash App, I'm $LTV411. And then make sure to visit our shop. Buy your Christmas stuff. Buy Christmas stuff. It's on sale. It's definitely on sale. It's like a Black Friday sale. All right, you guys got all the things? Cool. All right. Well, we'll see you. We'll see you maybe tomorrow, Thanksgiving Eve. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. We'll see you at the next one. For now, that's what it is.